Hey everybody, welcome to week 3. So, chances are you're probably like me, sitting on your couch, getting into discussion or getting into some of week three's assignments or the lecture because there's not a whole heck of a lot going on outside. Now, for those of you who are, for instance, in the medical field, or you're working in a grocery store, or you're doing something with transportation, you are still working and you're doing wonderful work. I mean, we need you guys to be doing what you're doing. And so I just want to say before we get into anything else, I really do appreciate what you're doing. If the work you're doing right now is continuing on because you're in a state that is deemed essential work, like in my own of New York or in California or in Texas or other places, really be proud of what you're doing, because we are really proud to have you doing what you're doing. And frankly, we need it. So thank you very much. Thank you. For the rest of you, probably like me, you're spending a lot of time in home, opportunity to do some work, right? Also take some time to, binge watch some Netflix and play in the yard with your kids too. You definitely need that. But hopefully you are getting into discussion. You are getting into the week 3 stuff. Last week we talked about things like hardware and software, the differences between them and how the two of them are really necessary, right? For a computer to work or a smartphone or anything like that. We talked about operating systems as well, and that's kind of the mind or the brain of your computer, allowing all the other kinds of programs to function kind of on it or within it, right? And we talked about OneDrive and cloud technology, which is crazy good stuff, especially nowadays. Boy, do we take for granted how important something like cloud technology is. So, where do we go? Well, starting in week 3, we're going to get really in depth on some of these key programs in Microsoft Office 365. The first one being Microsoft Outlook. So most of you probably are familiar with Outlook to some extent. This is the email platform for Microsoft Office. But what I'm hoping is that this week you have a firm understanding that Outlook is far more than just sending and receiving emails. Often it's called something like an information management system. If you run an office somewhere, or you plan on running an office someday, you're going to find that something like Outlook can really organize your office. So it's far more than just a platform through which you can send emails or receive emails. So we're going to talk about a lot of that. I'm going to kind of prompt you to think differently about Outlook and to kind of broaden your perspective on it by talking about some of the features that Outlook has. So we're going to be really hitting hard on Outlook. In subsequent weeks, we are going to be talking about Word, Excel, PowerPoints, and some other things. But Outlook is going to give us a really good foundation for what comes next. So make sure you get into the reflection, go through, or not the reflection, I'm sorry, through the lecture, so you can really understand the ins and outs of Outlook, and spend careful attention going over the email etiquette portion, because that's going to be important for the discussion board this week. Now, more on that in the video I have in this week's discussion board. But we're going to be doing something on the Outlook, regarding an Outlook reflection. So that's going to be one key thing. You're going to have the discussion board as another assignment. And third, you're going to have the check-in, the week 3 check-in. This is something you have in every class at Brian Stratton. This is an opportunity for you to tell me how things are going. How do you feel you're doing? Do you feel like you're on top of everything and you're really keeping up? Do you feel like you're falling behind? Do you need something from me? I take these all very, very seriously. So whatever you say there, just be honest. If you really need me to reach out to you and walk you through certain things, let me know, okay? These are very trying times. So I know there's a lot of stuff going on in your lives. If you want to say something about that in your check-in, you say, I'm doing the best I can, but man, am I stressed out because of all the things going on. That's fine. I get it. I'm stressed out as well. So the week 3 check-in is going to be very, very important to everybody this term. Be honest and really tell me how things are going. So those are really the kind of the 3 things we're going to be working on this week. There's going to be a lot of really interesting things in the discussion board. I'm going to start running, going forward, an additional discussion thread pretty much each week except for week 7.5. Some of these might be worth some extra credit points if you participate in it. Others might be kind of topical things. We might even have an opportunity to kind of talk and brainstorm about COVID-19 if you want. I don't know how much I can tell you about it. I'm no expert, but it might be an opportunity just to kind of talk and see how each other, how all of us are doing. Maybe a way to kind of build community. So that's one of the things I like to do in discussion, is to have an additional thread. Sometimes it is basically related to what we're talking about. Sometimes it isn't. But it's an opportunity to do something a little different. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Make sure you get in discussion as soon as you can. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what you bring to the table this week, folks. Thanks.